After a rare artifact is auctioned off to a private art collector, we discover its origins through an unlikely and enduring character. Near a desert center, underground of course, desperate scientists tinker and toy with human body parts to find the cure to a deadly sleep epidemic. They have their favorite specimen 001. She withstands all their lethal injections and amputations. She is the purest of the clones and has the rarest genetically modified DNA markers. 001 repeatedly wakes from her anesthesia with scientists working over her body. Some days she wakes with limbs missing, some days she wakes mid-scalpel incision. Each day she is taken outside with a nurse whom she incessantly questions. Why are there so many women who look like her, all bloodied and bandaged? Why are the cement walls so high? On this particular day, she counts 7,000 tally marks etched on a cement slab, and she remembers the cruelty, finally. Her mind activates survival mode. She rips the IV from her arm, breaks apart her wheelchair, and uses the metal pieces to scale over the barbed wire cement wall. Once outside the dangerous laboratory zone, she walks the outskirts of a city much like Sin City, only more run down and on its last leg. Disease-ravished humans and non-humans alike sonder the gritty streets, and the blood-soaked, ragged 001 fits in perfectly. At last she finds haven within the walls of a brothel motel, and the lobby man gives her the rules. Everyone must start in the back room. It's called skinning, a competitive and vital sport, where the rich and the infested pay to be entertained during the night to forego the rampant, sleeping death. 001 names herself Sunset and begins to climb the ranks from the back room up to the main stage. In a short time, her life begins to change for the better. She enjoys the art of cooking. She learns of technology and computers and online friends. Subsequently, she finds a love interest named Blue Seas, although she lies to him about who or what she is. At night, she descends into the back room performing her seductive act, yet during the day, she and Blue Seas chat all day, read books together, and draw one another. Sunset becomes his muse, his obsession. Conversely, the tenants, even her favorite customers, despise her ascent to the top of the sex ring. Her body and skin, which was once mutilated from the constant experimentation, heals extraordinarily fast. She doesn't need sleep, and her sexual capacity has no limits. Her genetically modified organs can endure all types of escapades. At night, her world is skinning for men, but in the day she naively longs for her newly found passions. No less than a month goes by before the owner of the motel pays her a visit. He's the typical grease bucket, flocked by flea bags, but he doesn't want sex or her money. He wants her skin, just a taste. She's a genetically modified organism after all. His under-eye bags oozes down his face from his sleep disease. He and his guys get their point across and smash through Sunset's kitchen. They toss around her pet armadillo, rip through her furniture and stomp her computer to smithereens, her lifeline to Blue Seas gone. The last thing the owner of the flea motel does is take a razor blade to the corner of Sunset's mouth, but unknowingly, he activates her survivor mode. Leaving behind the carcasses of the men back at the brothel motel, Sunset tracks her way to the last known coordinates of Blue Seas. She clings to her last hope of humanity, but stumbles upon familiar keep-out signs and barbed wire fences. Sunset finds a desolate place guarded by patrol drones. In disbelief, she finds herself back in the underground laboratory. Sunset further investigates this new, yet familiar, layer of laboratory labs housing women, some in the process of being cut open, some mid-amputation, some women under heavy sedation. Almost immediately, Sunset is apprehended and questioned by a drone, but dismembers the tech, recalibrates the SD card. She's hidden in the bathroom and overhears a high-pitched, wheezy voice. A male scientist goes on about statistical improvements and how to modify a fatty liver. Sunset steals his identity card and leaves his body parts in a heap. She locates an empty office where she continues to watch the atrocities of the underground genetic laboratory and replays the atrocities the scientists perpetuated against her, and it's all spearheaded by none other than Blue Seas. Her love interest, Blue Seas, pops on the screen at the exact moment that he rushes into his office in a panic. The distraught, yet lethal, Sunset flings his body across the room, doesn't even allow Blucius to explain his sick lies. Years later, Sunset is now in possession of the artifact, a book titled The Delectable Man, a modern cookbook of human eroticism. Sunset enters her kitchen and brings out a large jar labeled "Kidneys to thaw out." Sunset turns to the table of contents, her handwritten notes ink the page. She yanks a lobster from a water aquarium and begins to prep her meal.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the page, like the video, share the video for the YouTube algorithm, and I'll see you in the next one.